Hey, Cmax here. Um, After I did my last video on the Remington 22 rifles that I had, I wanted to go ahead and do one on my opinion on what rifle or gun that you should start a child with. Well, first of all, I think it should be a rifle and not a pistol due to the muzzle control. It's a lot easier to keep muzzle control with a rifle than it is with a pistol, just due to the length of the weapon. Now, I also recommend that you set it up on a rest, either at a range, at the gun club. Don't really recommend an indoor range. It's too noisy, tends to scare them. Or if you have private land, set up a table, do it right, put it on a rest so that you can just leave it there and leave it pointed downrange all the time, and make sure that you emphasize this. I'm not going to give you exact instructions on how to do it. You should be able to do it if you have any experience. If you're not totally confident, don't do it. Get someone else to do it. But from there, I also think that it should be a bolt action rifle. Now, the Remington 514 here has no magazine. It's just you feed one at a time. So there's a lot of control there, a lot of time in between, time to give you instruction. Now, this was my first gun. This is what I learned to shoot on, and it is very easy to manipulate. Basically, you close the bolt and safe on or safe off. Let me turn the AC unit on real quick here. This is a Henry mini bolt. Has the fluorescent sights in the front, rear, stainless steel receiver and barrel, plastic, black furniture on it. Just looks more modern, more fancy. It's a cuter gun. This one does have some safety features that this one doesn't have. And I'll show you what those are in just a second. The 514. Let me give you a trick real quick. 22s, you never want to dry fire. There's a very good video my buddy Highboy or Bill Morgan puts out on YouTube. Just search Bill Morgan. You'll see he's got about 550 videos right now. He just cut one the other day about the 22 rimfire, why you never dry fire it. So the options are for a rimfire is you need to do a snap cap. Now, a snap cap is a fake bullet cartridge. This is a 9mm one. Let me get it over here so you can see. It looks like a 9mm, but it's bright red. You can see a spring down inside it. Hopefully it'll focus in on that. You can see that there's a spring, and where the primer is actually recesses and absorbs that firing pin impact. Well, that's a snap cap. But for a 22, typically they're just a solid piece of plastic. So every time you do impact them on the rim, they'll crease it. So you can't use those over and over again like you can the larger caliber weapons with center fire. But they're real expensive. So I ran across a tip. I'm big into money saving tips and tricks and cheats and such. So as I go, I'm going to pass these along. This is what I use. Some of you may recognize it. It is a wall anchor. Wall anchor is for like drywall or particle board, press board, gypsum, whatever you want to call it. You drill a hole, you tap this into it, then you put a screw in here and hang a picture with it. They call them ribbed plastic anchors. This is a number 4. It's a 4 to 6. Let's see, I'm going to put this right up here. 4 to 6 by 7/8 inches long. Okay, number 4 to 6 by 7/8 inches long. And that's a poor man's snap cap. You can buy a box of those of 100 for next to nothing compared to, well, you go to the gun store and price out the regular snap caps for 22. Put it in, it'll slide right in, close the action, and you can safely fire the weapon. Boom, there it goes. It's pretty cool. One of my favorite little cheats. So, you can use that. You can get them used to dry fire and practice at home before you actually go to the range with no ammunition, so that they, once you get there, they're a little bit more familiar with what's going to happen, what's going to go on. Now, the mini bolt, the good thing about that is it's going to fit a small child better. Length of pull is shorter, so they can progress from just pulling the trigger on basically a stationary weapon to actually one that they can support themselves and, kind of move into phase two. But the thing I really liked about the mini bolt, and I looked at a couple other ones, the most predominant ones that were around when I bought this one was the Henry mini bolt and then the Cricket. Now, I looked at both of them, and, other than the fact that I really like Henry Arms Company, it's a good American company, the quality was just night and day. The Cricket just looked like just really cheap stuff. You shake it and it just rattles and just feels really inferior. This one, the bolt's open. You shake it, you can hear a little bit of that, but it won't do it when I close the bolt. But insert your cartridge. So that was a real 22. We're at the range and we're working. You put it in, then you have to close the bolt. The gun still will not fire though. Extra step, you have your safety, but the extra step is you have to cock it. I like that. That's just, the 514 doesn't have that. I thought, well, that's even an extra step. Some kid gets a little zealous and he puts one in there and locks it down. It isn't going to go off until you cock it. Boom. That's why this gun is actually safer, in my opinion, to start a child off on. Either one will work, and they're both really, really safe. But the Henry Mini Bolt I like very much for that reason. Now on the 514, I introduced the CCI CB caps, which are 22 short, real low noise and such. You can get them in long or long rifle. So, I might recommend that you start with that for ammunition until you move up to the regular high velocity 22 long rifles. Just depending on the child. If the noise scares them, then start off slow. You don't want to scare them. You want them to have fun. You want them to progress. But that is the reason that I recommend these type of weapons, this one in particular to start with, to teach a child how to shoot. We're going to have fun, make it fun. It is fun, make it safe, which makes it fun. Don't forget that. If you're not comfortable, don't think you can do it, don't be ashamed. Get someone to help you. There's many great things about the firearms. I'm not going to say industry, but community. Most of the people in it are just wonderful people, extremely helpful, and that carries over to a lot of the companies as well, that especially in reloading. Most of those companies have uber good customer service. It makes other companies' customer service level just, they should be ashamed. But that's all for this one. If you have any questions, please email me at cmaxarms@gmail.com. You'll see that scroll up at the end of the video here. And that's it for today. Appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day.